Hello, my name is Hans George Campbell, and welcome to my Windows XP computer build series of videos. In part 4, I'm going to install the motherboard into the case. I'm going to hook up the cables and try to do some cable management. I'll do that off camera. I don't want to bore you guys. Then I'm going to plug in my nice graphics card, and I'll also plug in my sound card. I'm going to show you the sound card and talk a little bit about it and explain why I chose this particular sound card, for this build. So, yeah. Anyway, let's continue building the ultimate Windows XP computer. All right. The first thing we're going to need to do is install this backplate into the case. So I usually like to start from the bottom. Most of you guys, I've watched you guys, and you like to do it from the top first, but no, I found it's easier to put it on the bottom first, and then work your way to the top, like from the sides. Doesn't really want to go in. Sometimes they're a pain. These can be a real pain in the ass sometimes. I'll be the first to admit that. They can really be a pain in the ass sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes they can be a real pain in the ass to get in. I'll be the first one to admit that. But that one went in. Just make sure that you put it in right the first time so you don't have to remove it. Go through all that again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So, I already have the standoffs mounted in the case where they're supposed to go. This is a micro ATX board. So, okay, make sure that goes in. Yeah, all the screws where they're supposed to be, so that's good. All right. I've got the correct size bolts now. These should work. Yeah, they should work. Come on, I am not having a good day today. Not having a good day today. Like, what the hell? All right. Okay. So I got those three in. The ones in the center, I want to do those first. I usually like to do those first. Okay. These three are always a pain in the ass. They're always a pain in the ass. Okay. Alright. Let's make sure the board still can move a little bit and seat itself. The one that's really going to be a pain in the ass is the one that is right underneath where that fan is. That one's really going to be a pain in the ass. In fact, let me see if I can move this stuff out of the way. Yeah, that one's going to be a pain in the ass. Hopefully it won't. But could I be so lucky? Well, I'll be damned. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, get in there, you fuck. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay. Alright, can this motherboard... Okay. So what I usually like to do is tighten the center ones down first. But actually, well, this will be fine. Oh, do not use a powered screwdriver on this. I see so many of you doing that. Do not do that. Do it just like I'm doing it right here. And don't do it like this either. It's too much torque. Just like that. You just want to snug them. And that's perfect. If you put too much torque on these, the washer part of the screw head will start digging into the fiberglass motherboard, and you don't want that. You just snug it. Just like that. Just snug it. Okay. Alright, that's in there. That one's in there. Shit, I don't want to fuck up the motherboard. Okay. So I think the motherboard's in there. Alright. Alright. let's start plugging in all these wires. We've got, I cut off the Molex cable off of this because I knew that I was going to plug this into the motherboard connector, which is right there. Okay, and I'll wire tie this so it doesn't get in the way. Well, no. Like that should be fine. I mean, I don't see it getting in the way. But what I may wind up doing, I don't know, is wire tying it like up here on the top. I don't want it getting in the way. Getting in the way of any of that. So, yeah. I'll figure out something. Yeah. For now, I guess just, you know, put up there like that. Okay, so that fan's plugged in. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is we need to plug in the power to the motherboard. Now, when it comes to cable management, don't worry about that in a case like this because the side panel is basically solid metal. You're never going to see inside the case. That's actually one of the nice things about using a case like this. You don't have to worry so much about cable management because no one's going to see it. Now, it is important when you plug in this main power cable that you support the bottom of the board while you do this. You do not want to stress the board, because if you stress the board on these standoffs, it can break the micro traces that are on the board. So when you apply, it takes a lot of pressure to put this in so that it snaps into place. It takes a lot of pressure for that to happen. So on these big connectors, you really want to support the bottom of the board when you plug that in. And then I usually have it, well, actually it doesn't really matter. Yeah, because like I said, you're not going to see any of this. So that's fine the way that is. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it later. The next cable that we need to plug in is the CPU cable, and that it's keyed. It only plugs in one way. And the way we want to do that is we want to, I guess, plug it in like that. Okay. And you don't want it touching. You don't want that other part touching anything. Okay, so that's in there. Power. Now that's in there. I probably should have put that in first. Okay, let me see something. I don't want that getting in the way of the graphics card. So, okay. Pull this around this cable here. We'll do some cable management. Another thing I want to do, before I plug that in, I don't want that, take a chance on that touching any of the metal. So, we're going to put a wire tie on that. Yeah, we're going to put a wire tie on that. We don't want this touching any of the metal, or take a chance on it touching. So
Just, you know, like that's fine. Just like that. You don't have to get crazy with tightening it. Just snug it like that, and it's fine. And then I cut off the excess. Leave about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch or 3/16 of an inch. You don't want to cut it flush. Okay, so that will keep that from possibly shorting out on the motherboard somewhere. And then plug this baby in like that. And yeah, that I think will work out pretty good. Yeah, yeah, that flows really good. That cable's in there really good. So yeah, I think that'll work out great. So we got the 2 motherboard cables plugged in. That's good. I think the next cable that I want to plug in, but I'll do that after I come back from a quick coffee break. All right, I got the all the cables done. I did what little bit of cable management I could do on a case like this. You really can't do, you know, that much. So now it's time to plug in the graphics card. This beautiful For the Win graphics card. Yeah, I love that graphics card. So nice. So freaking nice. Okay, so let's get this big beast plugged in. Let me go ahead and take off all these caps that are on here. That one I can leave on. I can leave on. Not this other one. Okay, it's got to come off. Okay, those I can leave. Actually, pull all these off. You never know when I'm going to need to plug it in one of those ports, you know. And last but not least, we pull this piece off. That's the very last thing you take off is this. You do not want to touch those gold fingers with your hands or your fingers. Alright, so now we're going to plug this beefy card. Oh, first thing I need to do is probably remove these. Yeah. Probably remove those would be helpful. Yeah. Still recording? Yeah, still recording. Okay. I don't like using those kind of screws with those teeth like that, so I'll be throwing these in the garbage. I don't use those kind. Looks like I cut myself a little bit. Anyway, let's plug this in. Yeah. Plug this bitch in like, well, like that. Okay. Maybe get that up over like that. Okay, yeah, looks good. And then plug it in, plug it in. What commercial have you heard that music from? Plug it in, plug it in. Yeah, I know. I've got a marvelous singing voice. Okay, so now I need to find some coarse screws that does not have the teeth. I don't like those teeth because they dig into the metal and eventually wear out the metal. So I think one like that's good. And another one just like that. Yeah, another one just like that. There it is. So 2 like that is perfect. Yep, perfect. I'm liking it, loving it. Okay, let me take my goggles off. I don't need these on anymore. Alright. So now, let's screw this beautiful graphics card in. And, yeah. Oh yeah, there'll be no problems with gaming on this computer. No problems at all with gaming. No problems at all. There we go. Just snug it. Do not over tighten. Just snug it. Okay, looks good. Okay. Next thing I have to do is I have to plug in the 6-pin PCI Express cable, which is right here. It does go in, yeah, just like that. I don't like the way that's sticking up like that, but oh well. Yeah, I don't like the way that's sticking up, but just bend it down like that. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, man. So we got that big beefy cable in there. God, there's not very much room for my Sound Blaster card. I mean, oh my God, man. Are you serious? I won't be able to use my Sound Blaster? Oh my God, man. You gotta be kidding me. It's gonna block my graphics card. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta so gotta be kidding me. I can't use that Sound Blaster. Son of a bitch. I don't know. I'll have to use onboard sound. Sometimes I don't like computers. Sometimes I don't like computers. I don't. Like, what the hell, man? What the hell, man? Well, shoot. That's not good. If I would have known that, I would have just put in a SATA Pioneer duty drive. I have those. We just have it all SATA. You know? Well, shit. Are you serious about that? Let me see. It's gotta be a way. Anyway, this is a sound card. Well, let me, I'll show you after a quick coffee break. This is the sound card that I wanted to use, Sound Blaster Live, with the game port, you know, because I have a lot of nice IBM, you know, PC joysticks. And there's your CD-in that cable there plugs into, coming from the IDE Pioneer drive, Pioneer Duty drive. So yeah, and this gives you the, what is it, EAX sound goodness, the hardware accelerated sound, which only Windows XP supports. After Windows XP, the newer versions of Windows no longer supported hardware accelerated sound. So I really wanted to use that card. Let me see if I can use it. I think it might block the fan too much. My God. You gotta be kidding me. Let me see if I can use this. I really wanted to use this, the Sound Blaster card. But I don't want it to block the airflow from my graphics card. Yeah, that's way too close. I mean, oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. And people wonder why I hate micro ATX boards. They're too damn small. I'm used to full-size motherboards. I'm probably next year going to redo this build with a full-size board. I'll have to find one first. Finding new old boards like this is not easy, even on eBay. Yeah, because I want to be able to use my Sound Blaster Live card, you know, for all that EAX sound goodness, you know. A lot of, if I say most of the games from the Windows XP time period supports, you know, hardware accelerated sound. So yeah, I want to be able to use this card. Are you serious? I don't want to burn up my graphics card. Don't want to do that. So I can't use it. Son of a bitch. So I might as well just go ahead and unplug this from there, that cable from there, and keep it with the sound card so I don't lose it. Keep that with the sound card. Make sure this is plugged in good. Also, I noticed that the SATA power cable and the SATA cable going into the hard drive is really pushing on that graphics card, or the graphics card is pushing on those. So I think I'm going to have to lower the hard drive down one more slot to clear that. I don't want it pushing on that graphics card like that. So I'll do that, and then I'll be right back. All right, let's get the side panels on. I've got, I had to move the hard drive down from here to here so that the cables, the hard drive cables, weren't hitting up against this, the graphics card. It's a rotten shame that I didn't have enough space to plug in my my Sound Blaster card, because I really wanted to use that Sound Blaster card. But I will be doing at least 2 more Windows XP computer builds next year. One of them is going to be based on the Core 2 Duo processor. I may also do like a Pentium 4 build. I don't know, because I got a brand new Pentium 4 motherboard. I got brand new Pentium 4 processors in the original box, 2.8 gigahertz processors. I don't know if I want to use a Phenon 2. I got Phenon 2 processors, I got FX processors, but they're quad core. So I'd have to go into the BIOS ROM and turn off the last 2 cores for Windows XP. So yeah, I'll probably be able to plug in the Sound Blaster card in one of those builds, because I'm not going to redo this one. I like this one the way it is. I'm still going with the IDE DVD drive, because Windows XP actually prefers IDE devices, even the hard drives. If you want a truly stable Windows XP experience, I would recommend not using SATA hard drives or SATA DVDs drives at all. Just going with all IDE. And keeping your hard drives at 120, between 80 gigs and 120 gigs. Because Windows XP does not support hard drives larger, natively, does not support hard drives larger than 137 gigabytes. Of course, there's no such hard drive that size. The closest to that would be 120 gigs. Okay. The only time Windows XP supports larger hard drives up to 2 terabytes is after you install at least Service Pack 1 or 2. Okay. After you install Service Pack 3, then it'll support all the way up to 2 terabytes. But I think it's best, if you want Windows XP natively, I mean, to be really stable and rock solid, and I never have to worry about it, I really would recommend, if you're doing a Windows XP build, to stick with all IDE devices. IDE CD-ROM drive or DVD drive, and IDE hard drives. Windows XP works the best with IDE devices. But because I am using the 2002 version of Windows XP, which includes Service Pack 1, it will recognize SATA, okay, and it will recognize this 250 gig hard drive. It should recognize it. Yeah, so it shouldn't have any problems with that SATA hard drive. And of course, I'm using an IDE Pioneer DVD drive, so at least one of the main devices in there is IDE, you know. But the main reason for wanting to use, for going with an IDE DVD drive was to be able to use the CD audio and plug that into my Sound Blaster card. But with a micro ATX board like this, if I had to do it over again, I probably would have went with a single slot PCI Express graphics card, but those are usually version 1.0. They're usually version 1.0, which is fine. I have version 1.0 PCI Express cards. And then that would have given me enough space to plug in and use the Sound Blaster Live, and I may actually later on do that. I might be pulling this board out and plugging in a single slot PCI Express board, but it's version 1.0, PCI Express 1.0. This is a PCI Express version 3.0 graphics card. So it has, what, about 3 times the bandwidth of version 1.0? And in a version 2.0 slot like this, it has twice the bandwidth of version 1.0. That's one of the reasons why I chose this card, because this motherboard has PCI Express version 2.0, not 1.0. But I'm willing to downgrade the graphics card. I still think I'll get really good performance. I have a graphics card in mind that I think will work great in this build. I got a beefy power supply, right? I was thinking about going with, I've got a, well, I got it here in this drawer. I've got a GeForce 9800 GTX, but I think that's also a dual slot board. Okay, I'll have to use, I've got one that has a heatsink, it's passively cooled. It's definitely a single slot, it's an HEI board. I'll probably go ahead and use that. It's got 2 gigabytes of DDR3 memory. So this has, I think, DDR5 memory. But yeah, I think I'm going to try that. Pull this card out, put in that card, a single slot PCI Express card, right? And I think it might also be version 2.0, come to think of it, which is good. And it's a pretty fast, powerful graphics card. I used it in my Windows 7 64 build, and it worked just fine for World of Warcraft and games like that. So I think it would be fine for Windows XP. And then I could go ahead and plug in my Sound Blaster Live and get that EAX audio goodness, you know. Oh yeah, I want that hardware accelerated sound. It makes a big difference in the games from the Windows XP time period. So yeah, but we'll see. For now, I'll leave this graphics card in here, and we'll do some benchmarking, see how well certain games perform with this card. Yeah, anyway, let's close up this computer. Close up this computer. Okay. All right, boys and girls. Okay, why isn't it going in? Should be going in. There you goes. And we got these thumb screws. I love these thumb screws. Remember, don't over tighten these. Don't ever use a screwdriver with them. Finger tight only. And don't over tighten. Don't over tighten them. Those side panels ain't going nowhere. Just, you know, finger tight. That's all you need to do. Absolutely lovely. Beautiful. Yeah. This baby's heavy now. That's how you can tell it's quality, when it's heavy. When it's heavy, that's quality. That's a sign of quality. Is it gonna... See, that's why I wasn't worried about cable management that much, because the side panel is basically solid. You're not really gonna see in there. You know, so I wasn't really worried about it. Make sure nothing's gonna touch the heat sinks and the fans. Nothing touching the fans in there. So that's good. I got this main cable wire tied. I didn't want it flopping around in there. So yeah, that looks good. I think it's gonna work out great. Yeah, put that baby in there, like that. Oh yeah, baby. Emerald is looking so nice. Yeah, this computer's name is Emerald. I name all my computers. And this one here is Emerald. Yeah. I'm going to have a mechanical keyboard made for this computer from the WASP website. I'm using Cherry MX Blue key switches. And it's going to be a really nice looking mechanical keyboard. Nothing but the best for this computer, for my Windows XP computers. Yeah. So there's that. The only thing left to do, because I am using a 19-inch 5:4 aspect ratio VGA monitor, which has a native screen resolution of 1280 by 1024. And so you make sure you set Windows at that aspect ratio and that resolution. Also make sure you set all of the games that you're going to be running on a Windows XP computer. You make sure you set them at the monitor's native screen resolution, which is 1280 by 1084. Okay? Do not use a widescreen monitor with a Windows XP computer. I see so many of you doing that. Don't do it. Use a 5:4 aspect ratio monitor with a Windows XP computer. That's either a 17-inch, 18-inch, or 19-inch LCD. 5:4 aspect ratio, and these monitors have a native screen resolution of 1280 by 1024. Okay? And you plug this adapter in. It has a DVI on one end, VGA on the other. That has to go into my connector right here. Okay, this should plug right in. Well, that's interesting. It should plug right in. Yeah. Yeah, thing to say, damn, it should plug right in. Plug it in, plug it in. Hon, shut the hell up. Anyway, that's fine like that. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me build my version of the ultimate Windows XP computer. I plan on using this computer quite a bit this fall and this winter to do playthroughs of my favorite Windows XP computer games. And I will be posting those videos on my disc-based games YouTube channel. So if you have not visited that YouTube channel, maybe you should. If you like watching playthroughs of some classic PC games with great narration, sometimes funny narration, you know, because I do say some funny things when I'm playing these games, I think you'll like that channel. And please subscribe, hit the like button on any videos that you like over there, you know. But yeah, I'm also planning on, okay, this Windows XP playlist, I'll add a video from time to time, you know, new video from time to time to the playlist. So keep track of that, you know, because I do want to show, there's more to a Windows XP computer than gaming. There is also a lot of great productivity software that only runs on Windows 98 or Windows XP. Now, a lot of the software I have requires Windows XP. It will not even run on any of the new versions of Windows. And yet Microsoft apparently expects us to go out and buy all brand new software just because they've come out with a brand new version of Windows and your old software is not compatible with it. Oh, hell no. Microsoft, you got to be out of your frickin' mind. I have literally tens of thousands of dollars worth of productivity software that runs on Windows XP beautifully, but will not run on Windows 7, 8, 10, 11, or the new Windows 12. Will not run on any of these new versions of Windows. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to build a Windows XP computer. Because I wanted to be able to run all this great software. And I wanted to show you guys all of this great productivity software that runs on Windows XP. In part 5 of this playlist, I'm going to show you guys how to properly install Windows XP Professional. Because most of you do it the wrong way. If you want Windows XP to be stable, I'm sure you do, Windows XP needs to be installed in the proper sequential order. And I will show you that order. I'll show you what to do and what not to do. In part 6 of this series, I'm going to show you some of my favorite programs that I run on Windows XP. In fact, they're the very first programs I install after I install Windows XP, the drivers, and the service packs. These are the very first productivity programs that I install. And that's Yuli DVD Movie Factory. That software came on a DVD that usually was included with the early Pioneer DVD drives. It is the best CD and DVD authoring software I have ever used. And I cannot wait to show you this software. It is really nice. Really a nice piece of software. I also want to show you Thumbs Plus 6, which I still use even today. I pay for it every time the new version comes out. I think they're up to version 11. I bought that, paid for it. I have that running on my Windows 10 computer in my office. But version 6 I have for Windows XP, and it runs beautifully. And what Thumbs Plus is, it is a picture viewing and picture manipulation program. It's a great piece of software. And I highly recommend that after I show you Thumbs Plus, you go out and buy it. It costs $80, you know, for the full program, but it's like one of the best $80 you'll ever spend. If you do a lot of work with pictures and doing picture conversions and converting to different screen resolutions and color depths and things like that, oh yeah, you want Thumbs Plus. I actually like it better than Adobe Photoshop. And I have Adobe Photoshop. And I will also show you that in a later video. In fact, I have all of the Adobe programs, the full versions. Another program that I'm going to show in part 6 of this series is Cool Edit Pro. It's a professional audio editing and processing program. It's about a $600 program. Yeah, this is a professional piece of software. And I use this program for like converting CD audio to MP3s, or vice versa, MP3s back to CD audio, you know, WAV format. I also use this program for converting 16-bit stereo files to 8-bit mono files for use with the Doom 2 maps that I create for Doom 2, ZDoom, and GZDoom. So I want to show you this program as well. And then periodically, you know, from time to time, I'll upload a new video to this playlist showing you other productivity software like Adobe Acrobat, the full program, not just the reader, but the actual program that is used to create the Acrobat reader files. I'll show you, I have several versions of Adobe Photoshop, which runs beautifully on Windows XP. I'll also show you Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Premiere. So if I really need to edit a video and be able to use advanced video editing features, well, I can always do it on this computer. It's fast enough and powerful enough to do it. And I do have that, you know, I do have Adobe Premiere. And a lot of professional video editors, that's the software they use, Adobe Premiere. And I have that program. I will show it to you guys, and I'll show you how to use it. You know, it's a nice program. Some of the games that I'm going to do playthroughs on, complete playthroughs on, I'll post them on my Disk-Based Games channel. I'm going to do Serious Sam First Encounter, Serious Sam Second Encounter, Serious Sam 2, Painkiller, the expansion of Painkiller, Battle Out of Hell. I'm planning on doing Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I plan on doing playthroughs of, Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. I'm going to be doing a complete playthrough of that game, but that one I'm probably going to do on my Windows 98 computer, because that's better suited for Windows. It's a Windows 98 time period game. I plan on doing complete playthroughs of Duke Nukem 3D, Shadow Warrior, Who Wants Some Wang? Blood, you know, the game Blood. I think you guys will appreciate these games, playthroughs of these games. I've got a new map coming out this year for GZDoom. It's called HGC City. I've been working on this map since January, and it will be ready for play testing in about another month or two. So if any of you want to play test my new map for GZDoom, please let me know. Email me, get in contact with me. And if you play test my new map, I will include your name. I'll add your name to the ending credits of the map, because the map's going to have a title screen and an ending credits. And I will add your name to the list of playtesters. Okay? So let me know if you want to playtest my new map, and you'll be one of the first people, well, you will be the first people to get my new map for GZDoom as playtesters. So let me know if you want to do that. Trust me, the map is awesome. It is, I'm not saying this to toot my own horn or to brag or anything like that, but this is the best city map ever drawn, ever created for GZDoom. And those of you that like to play city maps, you know, Doom city maps, you're going to love this map. Trust me. Oh my God. It is a great map. I mean, just me sitting there thinking about it. I know you guys are going to enjoy it. And you playtesters, you're going to love this map. And if you want to, you can show the map on your YouTube channel while you're playtesting it. You can give your opinions about the map. What do you think I should change? What do you think I should add? What should I take away? Give me your opinions. What do you think I should do to make the map better? Now, I plan on releasing a map in October, just in time for Halloween. I usually try to make at least one map for GZDoom. And I release it usually in October, in time for Halloween. Last year's map was Jasper's Realm. I got a lot of flack from that map because I had people at Doom World accuse me of cutting and pasting from other people's maps. That's not true. I never did that. I would never do that. I respect other mappers too much to ever do that. some of the parts in Jasper's Realm may look like other people's maps, but they're not the same. And also, did these people of Doom World ever stop to think that maybe the other person copied me? Because I have been creating maps since 1994. And I'm sure that this other person that they're accusing me of copying from, that person is a lot younger than I am. Okay? A lot younger than I am. I've been playing Doom since it was first released in 1993. And I started creating maps for Doom 2 when it came out in 1994. And through the years, I've created some pretty nice maps for Doom. And recently, I've been creating maps for GZDoom and GZDoom using GZDoom Builder. And I've been taking advantage of a lot of the special effects in GZDoom Builder, like reflections, dynamic lighting, slopes, slants, things like that, 3D flooring. Been taking advantage of that, and all of that is implemented in my latest map, HGC City. So, and if any of you want to play test my new map, let me know. I will email you. I'll respond to your email, and I will attach a copy of the map to my response for you to play test. But I'll need for you to play test it and get back with me within the next month. I need to hear back from you. Okay? A good way, either that or play test the map on your channel while you're recording. You play test the map, and you can give me your feedback that way, because I will watch your video. And I can get feedback that way too, while you're playing the map live. That might be the best way to do it. But please do not release the beta version of this map. Don't release it. It's not for release. Playtesting only. Okay? The final version of the map will be done after I get the results back from the playtesters. And I hear what they have to say. What I should change, what I should keep. Is the map too difficult? Is it too easy? You know, this is the kind of stuff that I want to hear. And then I myself am going to do extensive playtesting also. And then I'll do the final revision of the map in September. And I'll release, after it's done, I'll release a trailer of the map. And then it will be released in October. Just in time for Halloween. So yeah, if any of you guys want to play test my new map for GZDoom, let me know, email me, and I'll send you a copy of the map. Okay? Anyway, that's it for this video series as far as building my Windows XP computer. The rest of the videos will basically, they'll all be software based, you know. I'll show you what you can do with Windows XP, with a Windows XP computer. Also, today I picked up from a guy on Craigslist. He sold it to me for about 20 bucks. Brand new in the box. Intel Play microscope, which requires Windows 98 or Windows XP. And so I'm going to do an unboxing and a showing of that microscope by Intel. And then in the second part of that video series, I'm actually going to hook it up to this computer. And we're going to, you know, install the software and take a look at all the wonderful things that we can do with this Intel Play microscope. Okay, so stay tuned for that video. That's coming up. Within the next 7 days, I will be posting a video that I promised a few months ago, where I show you guys how to, you know, an easy way and a safe way of recapping your Amiga 1200 motherboard. And in this video, I show you how to, how we solder on surface mount capacitors professionally in the electronics industry. I've never seen any of you do it this way. You solder on your surface mount parts like you would through-hole parts. That's wrong. I'm going to show you in this video, which will be coming out, it'll be posted within the next 7 days. I'm going to show you the proper way of soldering on surface mount capacitors. And I was watching a video by Chris Edwards, There's a video about how he recaps the Amiga 1200 motherboards, how he uses a sharp pair of flush cutters to cut the capacitor and then carefully remove the remains, you know, and then unstart all the leads and do it that way. At first, I had my doubts about that method, but I said, okay, let me finish watching the video, and then I'll decide what I want to do. Because I'm a professional. I did this kind of work for 25 years, so I know if something is going to work or not, if the method's going to work or not. And after watching Chris Edwards' video, I liked what I saw. I liked what he said. He explained everything in a clear manner where even a novice electronics assembler, like what most of you are, could easily understand and follow through. And while most of you do not approve of his method, I do approve of his method because I tried it. And you'll see this in this video that I'm going to be releasing within the next 7 days. I tried Chris Edwards' method of cutting the capacitors off with flush cutters and carefully removing what's left over, unsoldering the leads from off the pads, and then soldering on the new capacitors. I tried his method, and I have to say it works very well. And I do recommend it. I highly recommend it. And I'm a Class 4 electronics assembler, which means I am one of the best in the world at what I do. When it comes to electronics assembly, I've worked on top secret government projects. I built stuff for NASA and for the medical industry. I worked on weapons for the military. And they don't allow just anyone to work on that kind of stuff. You've got to be really good at what you do. When it comes to electronics assembly and building things with your hands and doing things like that, you've got to be really good. And so for me to praise your work as far as electronics assembly is concerned, or even mechanical assembly for that matter, that's quite a compliment. And you should take it that way. Okay? And so after watching Chris Edwards' video on recapping Amiga 1200 motherboards, I have to say I was impressed with that video. And I tried his method. And it works very well. Okay? I will post that video within the next 7 days. So stay tuned for that video. I think you guys are going to love it. Those of you that are thinking about recapping your Amiga 1200, don't do it till after you watch my video. Okay? I've got some more videos coming out the rest of the year. I want to show you, probably be a couple of videos. I want to show you guys my VIC-20 collection. VIC-20 cartridges, VIC-20 computers. I have them in the original boxes, you know. I want to show you my Commodore 128D computer right here in its original box. I want to show you guys that. I will most likely be doing some more work on my Atari ST computers, my 1040s. So stay tuned for that. I'll be doing a lot of Amiga software videos on both my Amiga 2000 and my Amiga 1200. So stay tuned for those exciting videos. I got a lot of content coming out for the rest of this year. I have so much content that I'm going to have to start posting 2 videos per week. So you guys let me know what you think about that. Anyway, that's it for this video. My name is Hans George Campbell. And until next time.